The fracture of the humeral joint means the left arm joint was fractured or broken.
Now, Doc, from what you saw of that patient who was then deceased, could you tell the committee whether the person was shot from the front or the back? The exit and entry?
As narrated, the gunshot injury was at the back of the left upper chest. I quickly rushed to the second person. Earlier I said there were two. The second person, what I saw was also at the back, at the middle part of the chest, the left area, there were also an injury, gunshot injury at the left, at the middle part of the chest.
Well, the committee members also wanted to understand the distance of the shots, whether they were close range or from afar. He gave his own assessment of what he witnessed as a medical doctor attending to the injured.
Yes, can you tell us whether from the injuries that you saw on the two deceased persons, whether from the injury it was a close range shot?
What I can say, it wasn't so close like that.
Okay. Can you help us? Do you think in your estimation it will be of about a distance of 50 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, or the distance? Looking at the level of injury, when somebody is shot from close range, you can easily determine from the extent of injury and penetration. Yes. Can you give us an idea as to?
I can say I am not expert in
not an expert
and the distance, but what I know is that it was quite a distance.
Yes. Quite a distance. Yes. Then also, you said the bullet penetrated from the back of the deceased person. From the way you saw the injury, would you say that the person who shot these two individuals was standing behind them or in front?
No, at a distance behind.
At a distance behind.
Yes.
And that of those who got injured but did not die, what is your view about the extent of the injury and the distance?
Yes, I think almost the same.
The same.
Yes.
Well, he also gave testimony about how he was threatened and how the demonstrators threatened to burn down the hospital and also kill some staff unless they release the bodies to them.
The crowd that came there was so huge. It wasn't easy. So, as usual, things of this nature is a national issue. And when it's happening like that, as a doctor, you have to take all the necessary precautionary measures and actually advise for the body to be kept at the morgue for any further investigation. So after the death of the two, they came in and said they want to pick the body. I said, no, we don't do it like that. We have measures to take before actually releasing the body. But they realized I was delaying their time. And I said, oh, even for what happened, I have to call even the police. They will come, we both sit down, we'll get the relative, write their name, and for possible transfer of the body to the morgue, and we arrange for post-mortem. It was then that, hey, they shouted that they would burn down the hospital if I try, and also our lives. They will actually beat us very, very well, and even leading to death. I also started calling the police. Under that condition, they could also not come. And because of the agitation, release the body quickly. And reluctantly, I have to release the body to preserve the hospital from being burnt and also save the life of my staff and myself. So I quickly released the body.
Doc, was it a demand for both bodies or just one body?
For both.
Well, part of the committee hearings in the last 2 days had focused quite heavily, especially on the first day, and subsequently we had suggestions also of that from the committee on the causes of that protest as it relates to the killing of Kaka, who is a Fix the Country campaigner. Now, the committee members had been at pains to question his affiliation with the Fix the Country campaign, especially when the testimony came before them from the videos that we had shot and handed over to them, where, of course, in the live coverage, the description was exactly about his affiliation with the group and his killing having been the catalyst for the protest that we saw on the day he was buried. Now, listen to the chairman himself raise those concerns.
You see, there is a portion where they have written something. Yes, we are all Kaka. Police arrest two suspects involved in attack of #Fix the Country campaigner. You understand? But this is a matter you are now telling us that you did not take steps to ascertain whether in fact Kaka was a member of the Fix the Country campaign group. So why should your outfit in this particular clip indicate there that some two persons have been arrested in connection with the murder of Kaka, a member of the #Fix the Country campaign?
Well, tonight, the Fix the Country campaigners have expressed outrage at the suggestion that attempts to cast doubt over his affiliation with their group. They have announced their decision to petition the UN human rights body and charge, as they declare they lack faith in the committee to bring finality and get to the bottom of how the protesters were killed, in addition to the killing of Kaka. But in relation to that, the doubts that we just had, the chairman expressed, Kaka himself had confirmed he was a member of the Fix the Country movement when he did a Facebook Live on June 8, 2021. Listen.
Azama mi ke nyina ne se me NPP
All I am saying is I am a member of the NPP. Whether I like it or not, I am a member of the NPP.
Nanso media mahu se amonfu pi dudu na omutaka se na fix the country no. The entire man na ye force workers fix the country nana enya we Ghana na hawo.
But I have seen that for many people who are campaigning Fix the Country, when we say Fix the Country, Nanado is not the cause of Ghana's problem.
Ghana na ye wa ho you say nana enya wa wallahi nana enya no ma ye force ago mu ya ye go mu na mi meti na wa mi kase enya wo nana.
The problems Ghana is facing now were not brought by Nanado. It is not because of Nana that we are in this situation, which is making us talk in this way.
Nana kufu adankwa show boy sada na me frɛ. Nese GTI me wo ema wo mu no a GTI Ghana for so ema wo no nana dankwa kufu ado e wo ma wo no na Ghana for ne sin na fix the country.
Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo Showboy is what I call you. The belief I have in you and the belief many Ghanaians have in you is what is making Ghanaians ask you to fix the country.
Nana fix the country, me say. Yeah, cousin Nana fix the country. Now more for be say. Yeah, town.
When we say Nana fix the country, people think we hate you.
So that is Kaka himself, identifying himself as such. Well, tonight the Fix the Country campaigners have taken issue with the committee for casting doubts on his affiliation. In the last hour, I've been speaking to Hadi Yakubu, who is a convener of the Fix the Country campaign. He announced their decision to petition other independent bodies to do an independent probe.
There is part of the evidence, that is being collected has to do with the fact that Kaka was a very active citizen, an activist who had been threatened.
I want to ask you something about Kaka. We just mentioned him there. One of the key things that had come up before the committee, in fact, the committee itself raised doubts, serious doubts about Kaka's affiliation with the Fix the Country campaigners.
You see, that's one of the very ridiculous things that completely defines the charade that's going on at the committee. The committee is supposed to look into circumstances leading to the disturbances, soldiers shooting people dead and all of that. And what they are interested in and spending precious time on is to determine whether Joy FM was right to describe Kaka as a member of Fix the Country. First of all, let me make this very clear. And I think it is important that everybody takes note of this. Fix the Country is not a group. It is not a group that people sign up and become members of. It does not have membership application. It does not have membership cards or forms. We don't have members. Fix the Country is a movement, it's a cause. And when people identify with a cause, they take heed to the call and work and do their own work according to what the cause dictates. There's no membership. So if you spend precious time talking about whether or not Kaka was the Fix the Country member, first of all, you are misleading yourself and misleading the general public, because the first thing you should have done was to ascertain whether in actual fact there is a membership register. There's something called membership, or if Fix the Country is a group. Now but
the fundamental question remains: is Kaka a Fix the Country campaigner?
Of course, I mean, Evans, and this is one of the very irrelevant questions that we've had to face from many people who don't want to focus on the substance of the issue. Kaka was killed, and he was killed after being threatened for some of the work that he was doing. And if you go, it is very simple for people to just go to Kaka's Facebook page, which is still very active, and download the videos that he produced and watch them and find out for themselves what Kaka himself said about Fix the Country. It is very easy. And I don't see why a committee that is supposedly investigating all these matters cannot simply get these people to go to Kaka's Facebook page and download the videos and ascertain for themselves, rather than spending time on radio and TV asking irrelevant questions.
Isn't there, Hardy, for the committee's point of view, isn't there, Hardy, a sense in which linking Kaka to the Fix the Country, that he may have been killed? There's a suggestion there that possibly he may have been killed because of his affiliation with that campaign. Doesn't that, it has been suggested, fuel the tensions that led to the protests that led to the deaths?
You see, Evans, the people in Ejura knew Kaka more than any of us. And they knew the work Kaka was doing. The people in Ejura did not need to be told by Joy FM or Fix the Country campaigners or Economic Fighters League that Kaka was killed by this or because of this before they would show their grief and frustration at the slow pace of police work, in arresting those they believed had threatened him and were probably responsible for his death. They knew those people.
So you're saying that yourselves, the Fix the Country campaign and the conveners are petitioning independent groups to do an independent probe into Kaka's death and the killing of the two at the protest?
Yes.
Which independent groups are these?
We are going to petition Shraj. We're going to petition the United Nations Human Rights Council. We're going to copy some of those statements and petitions to some human rights organizations and implore and encourage them to do an independent investigation to ascertain the real truth on the ground.
And this will be a request for both a probe into Kaka's killing and the killing of the protesters.
Absolutely.
So that is Hadi Yakubu there. He's a convener of the Fix the Country campaign. And they're not obviously taking this line down. We also know that one of the lead conveners, Baker Vermo Oliver, had also written extensively on this particular attempt by the committee to cast doubt on the Kaka's affiliation with the Fix the Country. Remember, as you just heard there, he himself in the June 8, 2021 Facebook Live, post, describes himself as a Fix the Country campaign. But what is Oliver's position on this also, as he's also articulated in the article?
So in the article, he says, considering the fact that Fix the Country has primarily mobilized on social media, it seemed absurd that they did not try to piece together Kaka's connection to Fix the Country from his own social media pages. Then he proceeded to say that it seems prudent to go through Kaka's social media activity to perhaps establish what his views might have been in connection to Fix the Country. And that's a chronology of it. But the crux of it is that it says a cursory walk through Macho Kaka's, that's his page. That's his page. Macho Kaka's Facebook page will show you that he was someone who campaigned on issues affecting Idra with hashtag Fix the Country consistently. In fact, in his last activity on Facebook, Kaka shared a post criticizing the arrest of Efiodo and the 14 others and ended it with hashtag 1 is equal to all. He added that a lot of Kaka's videos were posted in a Facebook group called What is Going On in Idra, and as such are not publicly available on his Facebook page. You would have to go into that Facebook group to find out, and he digs into that to tell us that consistently he had actually used the hashtag Fix the Country.
I see. And what does he say about claims that it is impossible for Kaka to be a member of the governing party and also be part of the Fix the Country campaign?
It says that even though the Fix the Country has been consigned to the virtual space, the inquiry as to its reach and as to who its sympathizers are not started in the virtual space. For that reason, the media gave the platform to persons who they believed, because Kaka was semi-literate, that because Kaka was also an MPP supporter, he could not be a Fix the Country member because the people said so. How absurd, how elitist, and how exclusionary. How very contrary to the mission and the purpose of what Fix the Country stands for. And he proceeded by saying, the call to Fix the Country is a multi-partisan platform. Even as it is decidedly non-partisan in its approach, it appeals to everybody, every Ghanaian, to believe in their power to mobilize and to hold institutions to account. Outside of partisan structures, Kaka got the message and understood its potential.
I see. And it ties in with something that was said today before the committee by the head of the Municipal Assembly, who actually says two individuals who have been arrested are known
MPP members, polling station executives.
Exactly. They are executives of the party. And the suggestion there is they are suspects now. But the police is looking into that. And so, I mean, that suggestion about he can't necessarily be an MPP person and be campaigning for Fix the Country, because people interpret Fix the Country as
anti-government. That's clarified in his particular statement. He says that they're actually asking every Ghanaian to be part of it. And Kaka got the message, he knew the potential, and he dived into it. And the clearest example of his participation beyond the videos is the hashtag he uses, Face the Country.
Yeah, I mean, beyond the hashtag, as we illustrated himself, as he himself said
In the video.
he is one of the campaigners
Very much so.
with that hashtag. Raymond, thank you very much. Now, as we've just been indicating from the campaigners themselves, they have been in the last few minutes been assessing the work of the committee, and I simply asked whether they have faith that the committee would produce an outcome that will bring finality to the matters of interest. Listen again to Hadi Yakubu.
Well, right from the beginning, we've maintained that this committee is very it's a window dressing. It does nothing to show any serious commitment to get to the bottom of the issues. The committee, if you notice the appearance of the Ashanti Regional Minister, they were practically begging him to produce a video. I mean, the author of a video that was entered into evidence. He practically refused, and they had no powers to compel the production of the video. They had no powers to compel the appearance of the person who created the video as a witness. How do you expect such a committee to do any sort of work that can have any meaning?
That is Hadi Yakubu there. He's a convener for the Fix the Country campaign. You want to join us on Newsnight? Because we have the very latest on that feud, the brewing feud between water versus fire. You're wondering what that is? That brewing feud between water versus fire? Stay with us. It's coming up in 2 minutes.
Hey, Charlie. My network is really killing me. I have to pay my uncle's workers via mobile money, but the charges alone, it's about 380.
Charges alone just to send money? That's $10 of cement already, my guy. Listen, bro, you can save money on charges if you move to Vodafone.